What's up, everybody? The Celtic Doom here. Back for one of my favorite videos, Flare&Flavor Friday. I certainly hope all of you are well and excited for the weekend. Obviously, a lot of gaming is going to be going on this weekend, I hope. So, today's going to be our first actual edition into the series, and I actually got a suggestion from a friend of mine off of Dungeons & Dragons Facebook page, and he brought up an amazing topic simply because, one, he's an artisan himself, or artisan, depending upon your pronunciation. But at the same time, this is a concept that's really close to my heart, and that is tools. Tools, proficiencies, anything, something that really brings the life to your character. It's a skill that they have that isn't war-based, isn't fighting-based, isn't find your way through a dungeon-based. It actually adds a third degree of who they are, because, I mean, when you look at a rogue, what did he ever actually have a regular job? Did he learn anything beyond that? In his time, I mean, heck, does he sew in his part-time? Is he familiar with weaver's tools? And I think that's an amazing idea, because I feel very close to this idea, because my first Dungeons & Dragons character revolved around this, where the biggest thing about his backstory is that he was a blacksmith. Because I thought it would be useful to be able to repair his own items. I thought the coolest thing would be able to make your own stuff. Some of you have heard about the story about the chromatic fang. Basically a cloud-esque dust, buster blade that was made and engraved with the sign of Tiamat for our Paladin of Vengeance in 4th edition. I created on both rolls, and it became a legendary weapon. It became an artifact, actually. It actually spawned an entire storyline for it. So with that, what I'm looking into here is, bards. The biggest thing people complain about with bards is they have to have, they have to play an instrument. Actually, no, depending on your pronunciation, your look out on bards. They might be seeming kind of limited. However, with this, they actually have an entire page dedicated to tools, an entire page dedicated to mounts and vehicles. These are things that are like a third dimension for your character that I feel like a lot of us don't take advantage of, or a lot of us maybe as DMs don't know how to implement, perhaps. One of the things that my DM has been doing recently in the Rise of Tiamat game with us is, I for several months was studying alchemy, but only like the herbal side of it, where I could learn to make poisons and so on and so forth. One of the things I thought was really interesting is a buddy of mine, he's playing a monk, and one of his personal milestones is to get his bagpipes back. We always have jokes that we call them battle pipes. I had a character, his name was Howard Cook. He was a half-orc rogue who, it was ironic because, in that portion of the universe, people were based upon what their families did, which is a similar thing in history. And I multiple times have tried to play the merchant character. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to, there have been times that I've debated on giving my noble a thing with the carpenter's tools, because I was like, okay, what if I, was that noble that would go and help people repair their houses? I always wanted to play that good noble that, helped the people. I always thought wood carver's tools would be kind of cool to be familiar with, just because, it's something you can do on the side. Obviously, the brewer supplies I feel like that is completely RP benefit. I mean, obviously, besides the whole thing of, you can make whatever the heck you want, but I mean, the fame and stuff that your character can gain from something other than just fighting and winning and all this fun stuff is like with the brewer supply, you gain fame for making the finest mead, or the jeweler's tools, you gain fame or infamy because you've cornered the jewel market. And heck, one of the things that we see almost all the classes getting is like a game set, or backgrounds, getting game sets. I mean, and I see a lot of the stories about you guys playing with them, and I think that's amazing. Heck, some of them going as serious as, a game of Chance with Death, which I saw a discussion about earlier. And I think it's one of those things, I feel like tools should be brought to the forefront a little bit in each game. I feel like each character, I mean, heck, even as a spiffy, should know how to use some sort of tool or instrument, even if they aren't given that, simply because it adds that level of mystery, or that level of what experiences has this character had. You know, the brewer's supplies. You know, naturally you would expect this character to be able to branch off into different things, like the cook's utensils, the alchemist's kit. Those are the other ones that you can actually branch off of certain ones with that. Now, you know, like I said, I've tried to be a merchant once. The original time I was playing a halfling rogue, I was trying to become a salt merchant. I would always get enough money to buy the cart, buy the salt, yada yada. Then we'd end up getting attacked and we'd lose it. And that happened probably about 3 or 4 times within that game. It was horrible. But like I said, this is one that is very near and dear to my heart. I'm a big thought on. I wish they'd bring back the craft skill, simply because, you know, they've kind of nailed it down with the tools here, and I never really played in 3rd, so I can't really say much about how it would work mechanically. I mean, I feel like it would be like a combination of intelligence, wisdom, divide that in half, whatever. However you want to justify it. But I feel like general craft, and then you'd be able to add like maybe double your proficiency with the tools that you use. I feel like crafting should be a skill, because heck, you know, a lot of you see in Critical Role, you know, whenever the gunslinger would tinker, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, he you know, you could literally pull some, you know, a problem out of your butt with these tools, depending on how you used them. So, but we are definitely out of time with this. Leaf, I want to say thank you. Certainly hope you don't mind being in the video. You guys got to go check it out. He's got a Facebook page with all of his artwork. He's one of the best artists I've seen. You know, in lieu of it, it's one of those things that like I said, he's an artisan himself. And I'm definitely glad that he's familiar with painter supplies. But otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Celtic Doom, over and out.